My name is Gumbo. Good evening. I'm in Calvin's corner.
That's perfect.
Sweet.
That's perfect.
Which corner is it?
You pick.
There's a couple in here. I
There
feel
is.
like that's the one where that's the most important.
It is. Yeah.
That's
Well,
probably the corner.
probably the corner. Yeah.
That's your stuff.
Yeah, that's all my stuff.
So that's
Jude's is in
Calvin's
his
corner.
bedroom.
Yeah, that's Calvin's.
It was
corner.
in this corner, and then I scared the shit out of him every time he'd walk out.
Oh, it was in that corner.
Yeah, he'd see me sitting there, and he'd just like, oh God. So he had me move it.
Now there's a different corner.
Now there's a different corner.
Yeah. No.
But honestly, I like this one better because I can see out the windows and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Natural light is nice in here. It's good.
It is. Yeah. Except for at night when there's artificial light from the signs over there, and it just shines in the window and it shines in my blinds in my room.
Yeah, I have the same problem, dude. There's this just like glowing orb that's been outside of my window every night. Maybe that's not artificial. I honestly couldn't tell you what it is, but it keeps me up, man. You know?
Yeah,
it's a problem. Sure. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, that's great. So I got a couple things. If you were to own a business, what kind of business would it be, and what it would be called?
Like non-music business?
Any kind of business.
Okay. Well, I'd probably do linoleum tile.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Everybody's real into hardwood right now, but I think nothing beats just a good like black and white kind of checkerboard.
Oh yeah.
Tile on the floor.
Have you seen penny floors?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God.
Are they due for a renaissance as well?
Say what?
Are they also due for a renaissance like linoleum?
I hope so. I hope so.
What is it? A penny floor?
A penny floor is where you take pennies, right?
Oh yeah.
As many pennies as you can get. You lay them out like edge to edge on your floor, and then you epoxy over the top of it.
That's cool.
It's sick. My aunt has one in her house.
But that's probably they're not making pennies anymore, right?
No. So now it's
actually kind of a
rare floor
now. It's become a worthwhile investment. You give it a couple decades, those pennies will be worth 2 cents.
Right.
You know.
Well, they're technically worth 3 cents because of how much it costed to make them.
Oh yeah, it was just a bad investment all the way around.
And they kept doing it for like 10 years. They kept making them.
Yeah, well, copper is real.
Copper is real.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. It's valuable.
I was driving the other day, and I was driving past some construction, and I saw some copper. I saw like 4 or 5 just big spools of copper wire on the other side of a fence. It's like there was nobody in the construction site. It's like I could pull over and make a fortune right now. I have no idea.
You go to the pawn shop and they're like, "This isn't yours."
Yeah, I mean, if I had a spool of copper wire and I had to use it at a construction site every day, I'd probably bury it every day before I left.
Right. Too. I've seen people like when they have cranes on a construction site, they'll hoist the important stuff up on the crane and hang it there overnight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I think it was a generator one time I saw it doing that.
And when it's time for shift change, there's a new guy who has to operate the crane.
Yeah.
They just hook his belt loop to the crane and hoist him up and bring him on, and then the other guy climbs down. It's just a true story. It's like reverse bungee jumping.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Reverse bungee jumping, that's a topic. That's an interesting topic. Have you seen the crucifixes that have the Jesus, the bungee jumps off of them?
No, I haven't. It's kind of like a cuckoo clock.
No, like not like it doesn't like jump off of it, but it looks like it's jumping off like actively. It's like a piece of wire.
I thought you meant like it was like a can of worms, like where you like unscrew it. But sometimes Jesus just jumps out at you if you get too close.
Surprise! The power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, dude.
Have you seen our crucifix?
No,
Jude found that in his bathroom when we first moved in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Whoa. You might have a haunted apartment.
Hopefully not, but I don't know.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully
you wouldn't find that exciting?
I mean, I find it mildly interesting, but I like my sleep. and
Oh, sure, yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like if it woke me up in the middle of the night, I'd kind of be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the kind of ghost that it is, you know?
I got I went to some like haunted hotel one time, or like I don't know what it
Yeah.
was, and I felt something like I was like, yeah, no.
You mean like it's like a historically haunted place,
Yeah,
or it's like
it's
oh,
in
okay,
Towanda,
huh,
Kansas. It's like old coffee shop, and I was sitting there, and I just feel on my leg. I
interesting.
was just like,
So they have some
they have some lore uncovered.
yeah, some kind of bothering ghosts.
Yeah,
I feel like if I had a ghost in my house, I'd be able to like establish like a good rapport with it.
yeah.
Like I think we'd have like a good
We
system
would
going
chill.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that Catcher in the Rye?
it is Catcher in the Rye.
Do you have anything written on the inside?
Uh, only kill John Lennon.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's
The
a hell of a
Catcher,
coffee table book.
right? I'm like, I've got that one. I've like the Mixerman, and then I just don't have anywhere to put books.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let's be funny and put Catcher in the Rye out here,
Yeah. Yeah.
and of course The Shining as well.
Oh, is that? Yeah. Right. That's under there. Yeah.
I've got a couple other books in my room that I just keep in, like another Stephen King book. But
Yeah.
I'm like, who wants Stephen King books on the coffee table? Not a whole lot of people.
Well, I mean, you can definitely send a message
Yeah,
that way. You know,
I feel like it's
it especially depends on which Stephen King book.
yeah,
If
right.
I walked into somebody's apartment and they had like Misery
Ooh,
on their coffee table, I'd probably walk back out. You know what I mean?
you get like the Green Mile though, and it's like I don't know.
Yeah. 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 There's a lot of authors where I feel that way about you just wouldn't want to see them on somebody's coffee
Mm-hmm.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, it's partially why I have that there is because I just like you just like freak people out a little bit. You
Yeah.
just like all
Yeah.
right, I don't know what the vibe is here.
I've never. I'll confess that I've never actually read Catcher in the Rye. I
I
just like know that it has a
It has a
reputation.
reputation that
Yeah.
precedes it. Yeah, so yeah, I guess the guy who read it and decided he needed to kill John Lennon,
Yeah.
and
Is it? But it's kind of a like kind of about like a dude that's sort of like that too. Is that right?
kind of I haven't read all the way through it yet. I'm
That's
still
fair.
going through it.
That's fair. That's why it's on the coffee table. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I used to
It's the
be
books you thumb. That's a
yeah,
good coffee table book.
100%. I
Some of
used
the
to have a
big, colorful.
oh yeah, I need to get my guitar books out here, like the world's famous guitars or whatever.
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of good. There's like a whole section. You know what I love is the music history section of
Oh
Barnes
yeah,
and Noble. You ever go over to that
that is a
section,
great place.
dude? Um, yeah, I mean it's because like if I'm gonna, what's that book series like 33 and a third? Do you know about them? They get like writers to just write about their favorite albums. It's like historical albums. There's one on "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd,
Really?
but there's also one on like the Kanye album. There's one on um, "Untrue" by Burial, which is pretty good. But yeah, it's just a series. There's like hundreds of them, and they're all square. And it's like it'll be like a weird drawing of like a weird like drawing rendition of the original album cover in a particular style, and then it'll say who wrote about it. But it's just a little pocketbook about like I want to kind of collect them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like my Pokemon card. I think they're great. They also get a lot of uh, very good journalists because journalism's in the shitter right now. It's hard to find people who like really sit down and write an article.
That's why I like Vice.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They do like the TV station
Um,
that or like they do the documentaries about
yeah,
stuff.
documentaries of like
Yeah,
drug trafficking and
yeah.
like crime bosses and
Yeah.
shit.
I've seen some of those.
There's
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
There's some wild stuff out there, man. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it is also like I'm just like very anti paparazzi. I think
Hmm.
that's probably what I'm talking about the most. Is like I don't give a what celebrities have beef with each other. You know?
That whole Drake and Kendrick thing went down. I was just like, What?
Oh well, that was kind of fun, but it's also like it was fun because of the music. If
Yeah.
it's just like these two, like
Don't like
I
each
don't,
other.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't. It was fun because of the songs and like the whole moment around it. But yeah, when it's like
When they just have
two
beef.
famous millionaire actors getting a divorce, it's like
Yeah.
I couldn't be to care about this.
Yeah.
That's always my rule of thumb is you should care about art, not artists. I say that as like somebody who's like writes a lot of songs. Like, I don't want anybody to look at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I just forgot?
What's up? You know what I just forgot? That's a. I'm gonna start using that.
I just remembered.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure what you. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
We don't have the mics.
What?
We don't have the mics.
Oh, I thought we were using these.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, it'll be fine
Yeah, it'll
then.
be right.
Just sitting down
Yeah,
there.
just I guess insider. We don't actually use the mics that we hold. They just kind of for props. So.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be used one day, I suppose.
Embarrassing. I've used them for vocals once.
How do they sound?
It was pretty good. I did a cover of War Pigs.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I used to play a lot of like sludge, stoner metal stuff.
Love Electric Wizard. Like that.
I was listening to Electric Wizard earlier today. I was also listening to Weed Eater. I saw Weed Eater live.
Really?
Yeah, they're like one of the loudest bands I've ever seen. But the lead singer, the bassist guy, he like had a bottle of like cough syrup duct taped to the side of his amp, and he had a bendy straw coming out of it, and he'd sip from it throughout the. And he also had a bottle of Jack Daniels that he walked around stage with, just getting obliterated on stage.
Hell yeah.
But the music's well, actually, they're not that slow, but most of the time, I always think of stoner metal as being it's like it's so slow because you can get stoned out of your mind and you still don't have to worry about being on beat. It's like just check your clock waiting for the next hit, and you all kind of look at each other and it's like, is it now? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's fun though.
It is.
Have you ever listened to Dope Smoker by Sleep?
Yes,
The hour
passively.
one. Yeah, you don't listen. It's like one riff the whole time for an hour.
I was into Sleep for a little bit, and I started getting into Third Man Records when they.
Oh, they did the re-release, didn't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
I love Third Man Records.
Yeah. They also did the recent like Boris re-releases. They
Really?
like re-released like all the Heavy Friends series, which is super sick.
I like their Blue Room concerts.
I
want to go to one so bad. And I keep missing them.
Forget who was.
Geese was here at the Blue Room, and I missed it.
That's cool.
I was pissed.
Yeah. I need to get into.
I was like, I would have taken Jude to see that.
Yeah.
Big Big Thief's coming too.
I know. I'm going to see Big Thief.
Big Thief?
Yeah.
I want to see him.
Yeah, it would be my second time seeing them.
Big Thief?
Yeah, I saw them in. It's crazy because like when I saw them the first time, tickets were like $40, and now tickets are like $150.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
It's like ridiculous. I mean,
they blew up.
I got the tickets because my buddy was like waiting in line for the tickets, so he got them like cheap. He got them for like, but it was still like $70 a ticket. But I just Venmoed him for some because he was like in the queue to get them. I've never done that for a single show, to be honest.
Like a queue?
Yeah, like waiting queue. Have you done that?
I did it for one, and it was for a pre-sale of Beck.
That's pretty sick, though.
He's coming here. Actually, it's this year.
That's awesome. Awesome.
He's at that new venue that's coming in. It's called The Truth.
I don't know that. I haven't heard of that one. It's a new venue.
It's a new venue that they're building still.
Interesting, but it'll be ready by the time.
Hopefully,
right? They have to
move by October 31st.
It'd be crazy if they had to move them to a different spot.
Suck.
Yeah, that's.
It's supposed to be like an intimate venue too.
Oh yeah. What is like? Is he? Because I know he does like he's done a bunch of different
He
Like he
does
does solo
so.
acoustic shit, and sometimes he'll have a big old band.
Yeah,
Do you know what he's doing
he
this
just
time?
got top off with a orchestra tour. I know,
Yeah.
but
Can I have my vape on here?
yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you know what kind he's doing when you're seeing him in a bit?
No, well, I assume it's not the orchestra because it doesn't say orchestra. Um,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but I hope it's just like his normal band
Mm.
is what I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't popped up with any acoustic bullshit here recently, which I love his
Yeah.
acoustic
Yeah.
stuff.
I always
But
think that's cool, man.
it is.
I like it. You know what I really like that I've been like coming to the conclusion that I
Hmm.
like is I kind of would be interested in hearing your perspective on this too.
For sure.
Is like, do you ever think like people like on the outside, like music writers, but also just like fans of music, they're always kind of like, oh yeah, their third album, that's the best one. They always say that about a band with the biggest discographies. They're always like,
Hmm.
the first stuff, it's the only essential stuff. That was when they were like real. It's like, like that's a big take. I've always kind of like looked at it like from a musician's perspective. Shouldn't it be like, I don't like, maybe shouldn't it be the point to be on like album 40 something and like you haven't, you know, been at your peak in a while, and like the only people that still listen to you are like into you for like a long ass time and just weirdly like are just weirdos who check out everything you do. Like I think that's
I
kind of
think
the
that's
point, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's an intimate connection between artist and consumer.
Yeah, and I mean it's like past the, it's just like past the point of like, I mean I get the desire for hunger in your artists, but I really love just lifelong dedication,
Yeah,
and like being on album 50 where it's like your best songs probably were 30 years ago, but like look at you, you're still
right.
making me, like that's
Still
so
going.
sick to me, you know what
I
I
think a
mean?
good example of that is maybe a hot take. AC/DC.
Yeah, they would kind of,
They're dwindling a little bit on their new music. Their old stuff's really really good. It's what they're
yeah,
known for, but their new stuff it's good.
yeah,
It's still good,
yeah.
and it's
I think
I
Neil
like it.
Young is that guy for
Neil
me.
Young. I like Neil Young.
Is like he's got
I
pockets of his
think
career that are way better than others.
I think he's coming to Nashville actually. But
I'm Yeah,
that might
why
be Paul
wouldn't he?
Simon. I think they might be both
They
coming.
probably both are. At some point in the future,
Yeah.
they will both be here again. You know what I mean? Nashville is not really a place you can miss.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's so true. Except I've seen a couple different tours. I'm like, all right, come on, Nashville,
It's
come on,
weird when
Nashville.
they go to
And it's
Memphis
where they go,
instead.
yeah,
Yeah.
Memphis, or they go to. I've seen one in
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga or Knoxville is a popular one for some reason. I was like, what the fuck, even Knoxville?
Really? Yeah, that is kind of
Seriously?
shocking. I didn't know much happened over there. Yeah, I mean, I get Memphis for like some stuff. Like, I mean, in recent years, it's Nashville's kind of got a good DIY scene,
Mm-hmm.
but like there was a long time where if you wanted to see punk rock, you had to go to Memphis. You couldn't go to
Memphis
Nashville.
is sketch though.
Yeah, I just remember hearing people like talk. I wouldn't know firsthand, but I remember hearing people talk about that, like even in the Alabama like punk scene,
Yeah.
like when people were about to go on a run, they'd be like, "You got to go to Memphis. There's nowhere to play in Nashville that'll like do, like
Yeah.
hardcore or metal or whatever."
There's a couple hardcore shows, I guess, in my town right now,
Yeah,
and I'm just missing them. But
yeah,
I feel like it's worthwhile
I
to be out
know.
here still.
I feel bad when I see my buddies playing back home. It's like I wish I
Exactly.
could go see them.
I wish I could go. I have a band that I was with for 3 years, I think, and they're getting back together and they're trying to put new people in, and
Was
I'm just like, I
kind of
wanna
a
go
core
back.
band.
Huh?
They're like a core band, or just like what kind of music do they make?
Indie.
Oh, okay, that's cool though.
I
Yeah.
love indie so much.
DIY still.
DIY.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. The Nashville DIY scene's real different than the Alabama DIY. Like, there's a lot of shoegaze and screamo going on up here.
Hmm.
Like a lot of like post-hardcore stuff, and then back home, it's just like beat down and slam for the most part. and then occasionally there will be something that kind of deviates from that. But it's very much like Alabama's very much a mosh state, and up here it's like very, you know, nobody writes in weird time signatures in Alabama
Oh,
for the most part, but it's
really?
a big thing up here. Like all the DIY bands are like kind of mathy and like
Yeah,
interesting.
I kind of dig that honestly.
It's pretty cool.
Have you seen the speaking of math or like that kind of genre, the time signatures? Have you seen that new band that came out, the Angie and the Poitrine or
Oh yeah,
whatever?
yeah.
They're
Adrian Desplechin. Yeah,
the French Canadian guys
yeah.
from outer space or whatever.
They're pretty
They're pretty
sweet.
good. I
Yeah.
like them.
Um
I'm not sure about the microtonal stuff. I've never like experienced it firsthand. It sounds great. I
yeah.
like the King Gizzard stuff, the
Yeah,
microtonal.
the King Gizzard stuff is like kind of initially what I thought of. There's but there's some microtonal music that I listen to. I had a big phase with like Vietnamese traditional Vietnamese music, and then also just like Vietnamese psych rock. Like do you know about like Thai like shadow music and stuff?
No.
It's that's kind of a goofy name, but the idea is that like in Vietnam and Thailand and Cambodia, uh, during the Vietnam War, Americans brought over a bunch of psychedelic garage rock, and just a bunch of those 45s got left over there. And then there was like a generation of like Vietnamese kids who basically grew up like wanting to play an electric guitar. And now there's this thing called the electric fin, which is like a PHIN. It's like a fin is like a traditional Vietnamese instrument, but they've like put Stratocaster pickups in them and like play them through fuzz pedals now. It's like so sick, the like the electric fin kind of music. I really want one, but they're microtonal. The frets are in such weird
Yeah.
places. It's a 3 stringed kind of thing. They look strange.
Better check my phone real quick.
Oh yeah,
Actually, see if the food's
see
here.
if the goop is here. Yeah,
The what?
the goop.
The goop. Oh, the phone is here, of course.
Live sound is good in the sense of like you can just, if you're good at your job, you'll be
You just can
fine.
see,
Like
yeah.
the networking kind of happens for you. A lot of the and it's like gig based. A lot of the Blackbird stuff, they also got into like how to get credits and
Hmm.
uh,
It's useful though.
yeah, it was. But it's I also think that that's like that's stuff that exists mostly in the studio world more than live sound. Because like I mean, live sound like you don't really need credits for anything.
Yeah,
You
not
know.
really. No.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, it's cool work. Do you want to go into live sound or studio stuff?
See, I would love to studio,
Yeah,
but here's the thing: you have to work forever for
to get anywhere.
to get anywhere,
Yeah, that's true.
which is so crazy to me that like if you're got raw talent that they wouldn't just. I mean, it makes sense that
Yeah, yeah,
they don't
yeah.
just let anybody on there,
Right.
but at the same time, I mean, like if you have valid experience, I feel
Yeah.
like with valid experience comes valid.
There's that, but I think there's
Yeah,
also a level to which like when you're in a live environment, the songs are written and like it's just like a do your job kind of a thing. A lot of the studio world stuff is just like these people are like kind of figuring the thing out like
you're
in
creating
real time.
something. Yeah,
So it's like as much about your actual like engineering talent as it is just about like
yeah,
is everybody like having a good time, and like you have to just kind of be cool to hang out with, I guess.
yeah.
Which I mean, it's neat, you know. I guess it does kind of suck if you are in a bad mood on a particular day, but the yeah, I mean, studio stuff is definitely a different world. I kind of like all the live sound stuff. It is good that you can just kind of find work. Like,
It is. There's a page called gigs.live
yeah.
that it's really handy.
You know, the other thing about not being able to move as fast in studio world though is that there's like I mean, I think like if I have to like spend a lot of years moving up in studio world, it's like fine because I'm also still like recording just like my friends' music
Yeah,
in
100%.
basements and living rooms and and like that's as I have as much fun with that as I do like in kind of a the world is your oyster type
Yeah,
studio situation. Um, yeah, the studio thing, I think it really thrives off the intimacy of the thing more than like a lot of the sounds of like your favorite records are just like what they were capable of. Like it's like, oh, we don't have, you know, 7 mics for a drum kit, so
hmm
4 will have to do. And like that's, you know, maybe not advantageous, but like somehow ended up being like your favorite drum sound. Or like I
exactly.
don't know about you specifically, but I feel like everybody Loki has a case of that. It's like a lot of great records were just like the Sabbath like tuning down so that
Oh
Naomi
yeah,
didn't hurt his fingers, and now that's just like the sound,
that's the sound.
you know.
I think makes me think of like Led Zeppelin. They used I think like four, three mics on the drum set. I think
Yeah,
for
yeah,
when they recorded at Headley Grange, and just recorded in this big open room. It was just what the room was capable of. They didn't use any reverb and post effects. It was just
yeah.
pure where they were.
Right,
And then
right.
it was makes that's why I got the 8-track machine. It's just like simple it down, make it more.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool
why I
to
like it.
have limits. I agree. Yeah, that was kind of the an issue I ran into at Blackbird. It was just like, oh man, there's so much you can do. It's like, how do you ever choose
when
what to
you
do? You
when
know,
you
when
have
it's done.
yeah
You
when you
know.
have infinite possibilities, you don't have any limits. You're not.
Yeah. Yeah, in every like it exists in like writing too, where it's in a world where anything is possible, nothing is interesting.
Exactly.
You have to like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that's kind of like the thing that led to like painting and photography being distinct. You ever think about that?
Yeah.
Like when photography came out, people were like, nobody's gonna paint anymore
Yeah.
because they thought that like it would just replace the thing, but it became the thing where the point of painting is a little bit. It became so much more process oriented than depiction oriented.
Yeah.
Like it, I don't think that a painter like Jackson Pollock could have existed in a world where photography did not already exist. Like pre-photography, nobody would have had the thought to paint like that because a lot of people were painting to do what photography does, but it had to evolve into a new frame of mind in order to exist alongside
Yeah.
photography. You know, photography is like what's the most you can capture in a moment, and painting is like it's a little. I mean, I guess photography is pretty process oriented sometimes, but like a lot of the like great shots of crowds and stuff where everybody's kind of doing different things. It's like that's just right there. It's done. You hope it turned out all right.
Right.
That's a whole different frame of mind than I spent 7 hours redoing this person's hand over and over again to make sure it was like holding an apple the right way or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's the kind of thing to me that like also sort of like in a weird roundabout way led to what we were talking about with the records. Where it's like the Glenn Johns thing. It's like, oh, we only have 3 mics for the drums. Shit. I guess this is gonna have to work, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and then that led to all the records that he produced, kind of having this sound that had to like it had to exist in a different frame of mind than like 10, 11, 76s. You've got top and bottom mics on all of your toms, and you know a keyboard. Like you have like a synthesizer, a piano, and an organ all in the
Exactly.
same song.
Yeah.
Like we're all tracking everything live, and like that kind. It's just a different frame of mind, you know. But I guess that would exist within a singular art form, whereas photography and painting thing would kind of be the relationship between two art forms. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I was just kind of figuring that out in real time. I never thought about that before. It's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
Makes you think.
Yeah. What's like? What producers are you in? Like, what's your favorite like a engineered record or produced record?
I don't know.
That's a tough question,
it
isn't it?
is. I like home, like homemade shit. People would just do it in their bedroom.
Yeah. So
Like,
who's like your guy though,
yeah,
or like your guys?
Mac DeMarco, easily.
Hell yeah. Yeah,
Mac
he's
DeMarco.
kind of.
I love.
He started a lot of people
He
down that
started
path. I
a
feel
lot
like.
of people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it began.
Yeah. Well,
Not
for a lot of
again.
people our
For a lot
age,
of people,
that's where
yeah.
that's where it began. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. I feel like that is kind of a big. I think like finding out about Mac DeMarco is like that's like a
integral part in
it's a step.
somebody's life. Yeah,
It's a step in a lot of people's like progression towards like how they want to sound is like because I feel like he's kind of the champion of the everything is sort of shitty, but like it works. You have to make it work, you know. Like, that's for sure. Hell yeah.
that was part of the reason I got the tape machine. It's just because I mean what he was doing was just limited by his ability to do certain things because of the tape machine.
That's the right way to approach it too, because I feel like a lot of people hear about Mac DeMarco and they buy the tape machine because they just want the Mac DeMarco sound. It's not like a step in their creative process. It's just like I bought a tape machine, so this should like make my mixes sound good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like it's like a band-aid more than like just like another thing to be creative with.
Like I bought a Neve preamp.
I want the tape sound.
I want the tape sound. I want that nice color box tone.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. No, I agree. Although I'll also add to the limitations thing is they're one of the most boring things I hear a lot of producers say is they're like, oh, like this is my sound. Like this is the sound that I do for every band, and everybody who books me is booking me because they're looking for this sound. It's like so you just like got bored with your job and like stopped trying basically. Like that's what that says to me. I get in the studio, I just want to make your favorite song. You know what I mean? That's what I tell everyone. Like, if that, I don't know. It's like the creative experimentation just ended for them after a certain point. You know? It's such a weird thought to me that you would just be like, this is what I do for every band I work with. They're all different bands. Like it feels like shitting on them almost, just to be like, well, this is the thing that'll sound good for you because it sounds good for everybody.
Yeah.
So impersonal, you know.
That's why I like Rick Rubin. He's very direct with each one of his artists.
Yeah, I'm a big Rick Rubin defender as well. Yeah. A lot of people shit on him, but I'm a staunch Rick Rubin defender.
He can't work a console. How is he a producer?
Yeah,
he contributes more than a lot of people at the console do contribute nowadays.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, especially like if you consider the fact that like mixing is like obviously not really his deal.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys where like when people look at the final record, they're like, what did he do? And I mean, maybe if you're really looking at like very material aspects of making music, that is like a reasonable question to ask. But I think it's more like it's more of a guiding thing where it's like it's less like you could like somebody can tell a story about, oh man, he did this crazy like thing with this compressor and like that's the sound. It's like it's not people don't talk about him as a producer like that because there are producers people talk about like that.
Yeah.
It's like he has this crazy technique where he puts a distortion pedal on the desk and reamps through it. And it's like that's neat too, but I feel like when you look at a record that's like produced by Rick Rubin, the way to think about it is more like think about what it would have been if he wasn't involved, rather than think about what it is because he was involved. It's like very like almost like a spiritual advisor kind of
It very
role,
much
as
is,
much
yeah.
as like a
He's more connected with the artist than I see a lot of other producers.
yeah,
It's more,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, but that's I agree. The worst thing you can do as a producer is just miss the point that you're, the artist is trying to make. And I think not a lot of people are better at meeting artists where they're at and elevating them from there than Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's definitely like the role he explicitly plays. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people who spend their life kind of like learning how to use every console under the sun would probably feel like a little bit of intrepidation at the idea that like this guy's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and like
And what does he?
you
They're
know,
like, and what does he do?
what
And
does
what
he
does he
do?
do?
Yeah, like I do get the frame of mind that's like kind of leads to like dismissing Rick Rubin, but I just think the records are too undisputable. You know what I mean? There's so much good stuff in his back. There's a lot of dog shit too. I'm not a Red Hot Chili Peppers guy, and I know
Yeah.
he was all over their albums, but like I love Slayer, so you know there's ups and downs to the Rick Rubin thing for me. But I even love the stuff he's done with Neil Young. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. Rick Rubin's sick. Yeah. What with the home recording thing? Are you into like kind of any like kind of like basement sort of like electronic? Like, are you into like beat making or anything, or is it
Um,
mostly kind of
it's
rock and
mostly like
roll?
kind of rock and roll oriented, little bit of like indie pop. I like synths a lot.
Hell yeah, I can
Uh,
tell.
yeah, I got the Moog.
Yeah.
Um, I just one thing I struggle with is that I want to get vintage synths, but I can't play the piano.
Yeah.
I can't play the piano for shit.
Yeah. I get that. Every time I think about getting into synthesizers, that's kind of my blocking thing. Is I just haven't spent a lot of time on piano.
I'm like, I could get a vintage bass that I know how to play very well,
Right. Yeah.
or I could get a vintage synthesizer
Yeah.
that'll probably sit on the wall
Yeah.
and look cool,
Yeah.
and sound cool for a couple notes in a couple songs.
No, I know what you're saying, dude. I would feel so much more confident buying a nice guitar or a nice banjo than I would a nice synth, and it's just because I know what to do with it more,
Mm-hmm.
not because it's like better or worse. I just like the synthesizer. I think it would be a lot of making cool sounds and not a lot of like making cool songs. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever around with synthesizing your guitars at all? Do you ever put like a synth pickup or anything? I've never fucked around with those.
I've done it on my bass more than my guitars.
Was it cool though?
It was cool. It blew up on my amps. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was like a PA kind of thing. Because you're like
Yeah.
running it through modules or like actual synth modules, or am I mistaken?
Well, like the synth pedal, more like
okay.
Synth, like like they're made for pedal boards, but they're modules.
Okay.
The same kind of thing, but it's
just a module in a synth case.
In a synth case, yeah, pedal case, yeah.
That makes sense. That's cool.
It's nice. We blew up 2 amps actually. It was like a Electro Harmonics bass.
You mean live, or you mean in a studio setting?
Not in studio setting. It was just like we were practicing and and it just like I was like, what the hell was that? And then we started seeing smoke, and I was like, oh
damn, that was the synth, you think?
It was, would guarantee it was the synth, because it did it twice with that same pedal.
That's
so
crazy.
we're like, and it didn't the last amp that it did it to the worst. It completely blew out my transformer, and I had a
that was a solid state.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In my transformer, in my
where do you stand in the solid state versus tube?
I like tube a lot.
Tubes are cool.
They're cool. I like the technology behind them. Solid state, I mean, you just get so many great things from both. It's hard to choose.
Yeah.
One of the preamps I want is it's had a mixed knob between solid state and tube sound. It's
That's a
called the it's
novel idea.
right.
Yeah.
It's called the Universal Audio like 710 to Infinity or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
it's
UAD
crazy.
makes some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
that's one of my interfaces. That's why I like it so much.
Oh yeah.
It's because it's got nice preamps and it's well, I like the knobs on the top rather than on the front more.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah, the one up on the desk. Yeah. For a sec, yeah, it took me a second. I thought you were talking about the other one. I was
No.
like, no, okay. A modded Behringer would be pretty funny.
That would be
though.
awesome.
Well, yeah. No, but yeah, that's cool. Switch between tube and solid state.
Yeah,
I like a hybrid amp, dude.
I do.
Because the solid state power amp with the tube preamp that's brilliant. Because I feel like the power amp tubes are the ones that blow up anyway. So like, why not just
Replace
solid
those.
state the
Yeah.
one that like affects the like actual color of the tone less, you know? Yeah, I've been using those orange the micro tears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been using one of those for a minute now. Because I don't have a real cab. I have a hi-fi speaker and like a receiver for a record player that it's running RCA in from the micro tear.
No comment.
No, it sounds like shit in a really good way. I really like it. I play my 8 string through it. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
8-string guitar.
Yeah. Just some stupid chuggy stuff. But I'll tell you why I like it though. Is because a guitar speaker cone is kind of EQ'd
Yeah.
to like complement the frequencies of a guitar or whatever. I like this one because it's not EQ'd at all. It's just full and wide open. So I think like sometimes people get into their like cabinet and they're like, these speakers are like really good for like my tone, and it's like, really like captures their tone, but the hi-fi speaker kind of just it's like the good, the bad, and the ugly. It doesn't capture anything. Just that's the signal. That's how the signal sounds. It's not how the cone sounds.
Yeah.
I kind of like that because you have to. It puts you in the state of mind of like paying closer attention to how you're playing. Tube amps can kind of like cover for sloppy playing a little bit.
They can. Yeah.
More than solid state, but then also just like guitar speaker cones can cover for playing more
they
than
compensate.
like full frequency.
You know what else I think compensates sometimes?
What?
Reverb.
Yeah, reverb. Yeah,
Especially on vocals.
yeah. It can make any vocal performance sound a lot more acceptable than it is. I agree. Yeah. No,
Just
reverb
like-
does kind of kill a mix.
It does.
Too much of it is
Too much
definitely
of
a
it is
bad thing.
detrimental.
Yeah,
Like I have a love-hate relationship with reverb because
I'm with you.
I'm like I turn that to 15% and I leave it there.
Yeah, I also just find that a lot of my favorite like records have really dry production. I always think of like the first Queens of the Stone Age album.
Oh yeah.
Or well, not the first, the second one. It's like the radio songs for the deaf.
Oh yeah.
That's like super just dry and like hardly any reverb on anything, but it sounds so cool.
With Dave Grohl on drums. I love their album.
Yeah, and didn't Mark Lanigan sing on that album, or is that the first one? I think that's the first one, and then Josh Homme's vocals on the songs for the deaf.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so. I know there's a on songs like the track name or the title.
Song for the deaf.
Yeah, Song for the Deaf. I think somebody else sings. It's not Josh Homme.
I know the bassist song, Mark Agnesi. No, Mark Agnesi is the Gibson Garage guy. Who's the Mark? Is his name Mark? Well, no, Mark Lanigan. Who's the guy? Who's the bassist in Queens of the Stone Age? He was in Caius. He was in Josh Homme's band from before Queens of the Stone Age. I don't remember.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. I know he does some vocals because I know he's doing the screaming parts on "You Think I Ain't Worth a Dollar," but I feel like $1,000,000. That song. He's does most of the vocals on that song. I need to get more into Mark Lanigan. I've never really listened to Screaming Trees like that. or his solo stuff.
Yeah. I never really listened to Screaming Trees either.
Yeah,
Not that
I'm
they're bad, just like I've just never really
I'm really into a
taken the
lot
time
of
to got into
bands that are really into Screaming Trees. You know
them.
what
Yeah.
like I love everything Steve Albini ever made. I'm really into like the Jesus Lizard and like Bitch Magnet and stuff like that. And I don't think they sounded like Screaming Trees. Maybe they did. I don't really listen to Screaming Trees, but I've heard them talk about really enjoying Mark Lanigan's music. So I feel like it's just one of those things, right? Like, you know, when you hear about your favorite musician's favorite musician,
Yeah.
and then you find a new favorite musician. You know what I mean? Maybe Mark Lanigan's due for that kind of a thing with me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you into any of the Albini bands
Um.
aside from Nirvana? Because everybody likes In Utero.
Yeah. Everybody loves it. Euro.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite albums, but I think that's my favorite Nirvana album, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Bleach is iconic.
Bleach is good. Incesticide, I think, is
Incesticide
really
is
underrated.
really underrated.
Yeah.
Even though it's a compilation.
It might be because there's like some stuff that Dave Grohl's not even playing on there. It's like the old guy, the guy who played on Bleach.
Yeah.
Forget his name, Chad something. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Those PJ Harvey records that Steve Albini did are like some of my favorite of hers. I love PJ Harvey.
I'm gonna turn the lights on real quick.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Oh. What's like something that you're? I'm sorry, I feel like I'm hijacking.
No, dude. That's why I have people here, just because I can't keep a conversation held with myself. So.
Yeah, it's hard to do a one man conversation, isn't it? Yeah, monologue more.
It's terrible. I can't just talk about like. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I can sometimes, but you got to get me on a certain topic.
Certain tear, yeah. What's like some you're into that's not music related? Like comic books or video games or something.
You know, most of my life is oriented around music. I'm gonna be real honest.
No, I get it. I'm the same way.
It's when I'm not playing music. I have the Xbox, obviously. I read a little bit. Yeah, those are like half the games I have, but not even.
What's the top one?
Batman.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I've heard of those.
I remember the Batman's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I don't play Bindi at all.
I don't know that one. I'm unfamiliar with that game.
It's like rubber hose animation, kind of.
As in like the 30s, like Fleischer Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. But it's like a horror game.
Dude, I have a whole book on Tex Avery. I'm like obsessed with that era of animation.
My friend has a Coco the Clown tattoo.
That's cool. Yeah. That stuff like low-key got me into a lot of music. I feel like that's how I figured out about Cab Calloway and was from the old Fleischer Studios stuff. But yeah, I'm like really into like Fleischer Studios and Tex Avery and I guess really just them two probably. It's not necessarily an area of expertise, but like I love that kind of character design. Man.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable. But that's what that game's about?
Yeah, it's like a horror game based around like a studio. It's kind of like a studio based on Fleischer Studios.
There was another video game that was kind of similarly based.
Yeah.
Cuphead.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's cool.
Is it similar?
Cuphead's like kind of like more 2D in a sense. Okay. This one's like a 3D. You walk through this whole.
It's place. 3D, but it's like that style of animation.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'll look it up. I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, it's cool though. It's It's a horror game though, so
Oh.
I used to get super glorped out of my fucking head.
Give you a panic attack.
And I used to sit and I used to play
Yeah.
it on my couch. So not only my parents upstairs, they're like, "What are you doing down there?" And I'm sitting here playing this horror game, freaked out of my mind because I'm playing a horror game,
Yeah.
but now I'm freaked out because they're getting all my ass.
I would watch American Horror Story,
Cool.
which is like honestly not that scary. There's some like freaky shit in there,
There
but
is
it's
some
not like
freaky shit.
alarming
It's
horror
not.
movie levels.
Like not like what is it? What's a really bad one?
Hereditary scared the shit
Hereditary
out of me.
is it's pretty decent.
That scared the shit out of me.
Have you seen Weapons?
No, I haven't, but I know
it's
about
on
it.
It's on Prime.
I know about it.
Watch it while you can.
Didn't it
It's
just
good.
win an Oscar?
It did.
Yeah. I know about it. I need to watch it.
It's really, really good. It scared the shit out of me like a couple times.
Yeah. That's the one where the kids run around with their arms like that.
Arms. Yeah.
The lady from that
The
movie
lady
looks wild.
Oh my god!
I've seen a lot about that movie.
I watched it in the living room for like 5 minutes. It was my Meemaw sitting next to me, and she goes, "Oh my god, look at that lady!" And I was like, "No, I gotta turn it off now."
Yeah. No, I need to watch that. My taste in horror movies is so like, if I put on a horror movie, 9 times out of 10, it's like a really shitty one that's not scary at all. That I'm just kind of like laughing at.
Right,
like that's more my taste.
Like Sleepaway Camp. It's one of my favorites.
I've not seen that one.
Really?
But I love like redneck zombies.
Oh
Are you
my
familiar
God.
with that movie?
No, it
It's a good
sounds
one.
interesting.
Yeah, it's what it sounds like. It's just a zombie movie about like hillbillies. You know, it's pretty good.
I love classic horror movies a lot, like Dawn of the Dead. Really good one. I like all the old like ones from the 30s. Creature from the Black Lagoon, by far my favorite. By far my favorite out of that area.
All that like old like movie monster shit.
Love the Universal monsters.
Do you like the Cramps?
I've heard of them.
There's like an old kind of punk band, but they kind of are sort of like movie monster themed. But it's not at all corny. It's like very like sincere and cool. I'm just a big fan of the Cramps. I think they're like one of the best bands ever. But to me as a kid, they were kind of like real life movie monsters. Like they all look like they have cold skin. I don't know how to explain it,
Yeah.
but like you know what I mean. No, yeah, that's cool though. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I love that one. A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorites.
Classic.
I was terrified of that thing as a kid.
Freddy Krueger?
Yeah. There was this Freddy Krueger doll my mom won, like a claw machine thing, and I was freaked the hell out of that thing. Like through like age like 9.
Yeah.
9 or 10.
No, he was dude, Freddy Krueger was scary as a kid because I feel like it was also like low-key just the concept of it.
He can get you in your sleep and you have to sleep, so
yeah. I thought Freddy Krueger was like the first time that like things were scary to me for reasons that weren't just like this guy looks wild and you know like things were very like scary and just kind of a creepy off-putting way before that. I think Freddy Krueger was the youngest I was confronted with something that was like conceptually terrifying. Like he kills you in your dreams, you die in real life. Because like, I mean, I've died in my dreams.
Oh, 100%,
you know,
yeah.
I was like,
a couple nights ago, I had a dream that I got. Well, number one, I got a piercing.
And it killed you.
No, it didn't kill me. I just got some piercing, and then there was this like weird chick from my school, and she rubbed me in lotion, and then she'd stab me in the neck. I was like, "What the fuck, Buffalo Bill type of shit is this?"
That is wild, man.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Huh. Yeah, I wonder what that means. I'm no like dream expert.
Yeah, me neither.
You know?
I wish I was. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah. She stabbed you in the neck?
Yeah, like right here.
Damn. See, my like when I die in dreams, I never like remember the dying part. Like I just know it happens because like it implicitly happens next, but I always wake up before it actually happens. Do you have lucid dreams ever?
Yeah.
Do you ever do the thing where you say to the people in the lucid dream, like, I'm dreaming, and then they get really fucking angry at you? They're like, you have to leave right now.
No, I don't.
Is that freaky though?
I haven't. That It is like that's kind of sketch.
Yeah,
Honestly,
it's really scary. Yeah.
that they get mad at that would be terrifying.
Yeah,
No,
somebody
no,
told me about it and I did it and it was
nobody.
real.
I'm gonna try that now.
Yeah.
I know most of the time I'll get in like a situation where I'm like, this is fucking scary, and then I'm like, wait a minute, and I pick up my legs and I float, and
Yeah.
that's a lot of my dreams end up doing is just like me floating on my back, just out of the situation.
Yeah. My version of that is always that I don't really have great control of my lucid dreams. Like
Yeah.
I can't like this is I wish I could like fly or like change the landscape around me.
That would
But I
be
try to
sick,
do
yeah.
that shit and I wake up like it's like too much brain power or something. I just wake up. But my version of that though, whenever I'm like freaked out in a lucid dream and I need to like kind of not be bothered by the shit happening around me, so I just catch on fire, and then nothing wants to fuck with me anymore. Just sitting there on fire.
That's the way to do it, yeah.
You know, I would work on me. I feel like if I was like arguing with a guy and he set himself ablaze, I'd be like, "You win, dude. It's
Rage
fine."
Against the Machine album cover.
Yeah. Dude, do you know the story behind that album cover?
It was a political protest. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember where it was though.
A monk. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, it was
remember
a
where
monk,
it was.
yeah.
It was protest of some war. Might have been the Korean War, but I don't think it was because he was like what's I forget what that like monastic order is called. It's not. They're not Tibetan monks. I don't think is actually the name because you'd have to be from Tibet.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever that group of fellows is, I don't know what. I don't remember what it's called. Stuff's crazy, dude.
It is.
Dude, I kind of respect the hell out of being a monk.
100%.
Just like crawl out of society to go dedicate your life to something that you just do all the time.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
I would like to do that with music.
Yeah, same.
Just do that all the time.
Yeah. No,
I would get burnt out at some point and have to go like.
No, but it defeats burnout though.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've kind of been trying to practice this. Like, I'd have to write a certain amount every day, which I've gotten. My dad fixes typewriters, and he gave me one a few years ago, and I've got it up here now. I didn't have it for the first couple of months I lived here, but I have it up here now, so I have to fill up a page every day on the typewriter, or just word vomit. But like, most of it sucks. I'm not like sitting down like with the intention of making something. I'm just writing because I'm like trying to dedicate myself to writing, and then that like stopped. I haven't had writer's block in years since I've been like forcing myself to write a certain amount every day because it just becomes flexing the muscle. You just clock in. You're not like waiting on inspiration or anything.
I think I've done that once. Yeah. Once I was on a plane. I was listening to a Pink Floyd album, and I just sat down and I wrote this thing called John and the Black Snake, and it's really trippy sounding. Yeah. It's like this,
like a short story.
Yeah, kind of.
That's cool.
But it's kind of like word vomit short story mix, where it's just like
Kerouac-esque.
Yeah.
I don't like Jack Kerouac. Hot take. Yeah, I don't think he's very good. I mean, I like, tried to read On the Road because everybody and their mom tells you that you have to read On the Road, and I just like, out of all the beat writers, I'd choose Allen Ginsberg every time. I've like read everything he's ever written, but I'm also trying to collect all of his pocketbooks right now, all of Allen Ginsberg's pocketbooks. But yeah, Kerouac never did it for me just because I just feel like he could really use an editor. This whole thing of like, it's the same reason I never got into the fucking guy who wrote Infinite Jest. There's a lot of those books that people tell you to, David Foster Wallace. I never liked him because it's just like, end the fucking sentence, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's a big like less is more thing. But it's all those books that people tell you to read because they're like, but they're only popular because they're like hard to read. I'm not necessarily an advocate of like harder to consume is better. I do think like harsh kind of like experimental stuff has a place, but I think the beauty of it is if it doesn't obscure what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
The harshness is not distracting from the point. Um, that's the difficult thing about it that I feel like Jack Kerouac just does a dog shit job at. Is like the experimental nature of his like prose is so distracting from what he's trying to say. It also doesn't help that he's not really trying to say anything and on the road. It's just like me and my friends were pieces of shit for a number of years, and that's like the thesis statement of the whole book. Um,
Accurate.
you know, and I mean, there's great books about terrible people. You know, not a, I love. I feel like novelists tend to be very good at kind of realizing that you don't have to have a protagonist who's like really like a protagonist. Like your protagonist can kind of be an antagonist, but you just like write a really complex character portrait. It's kind of a cool thing. And I mean maybe that's what he was going for, but just some people have done it better than others, you know. Yeah, I don't like that style of like 12 commas per sentence. Every sentence is
Right.
like the length of a paragraph. It's like,
I feel like
you know.
Tolkien did that a couple times.
Yeah, but Tolkien did it better though, because
Tolkien did it so much better
Tolkien
because it
would
was
spend too long describing things, for sure. Um, but the I think it's like charming in the sense of like all of his details feel very like honest to
they
how you.
matter. Yeah.
It's not even necessarily that they matter. It's just that they feel honest to how the characters are taking in the environment. So it doesn't matter that they don't matter. Whereas the thing of Kerouac is like it feels like that level was it's not detailed like that. It's more kind of rambling, and it also just feels very self-indulgent because he's not attempting to get across a complex character portrait outside of just like look at how cool Jack Kerouac is and like all the little weird shit that like well Gimli's over here eating rocks. It's like that's not like a important detail, but it does something for the character.
Yeah.
Like not everything has to push the story forward all the time, but it has to at least feel like it is contributing to like the atmosphere or something. That's what I mean when I say it's like that level of like non-editing. It sometimes it just distracts from the point of, or like that level of like the kind of experimental prose kind of just distracts from the point if you don't execute it with a degree of like elegance, you know. It's just it's the same thing people say that every drummer and bassist on the planet at some point. Just less is more, you know.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But they're sort of the Yngwie Malmsteen. Jack Kerouac's kind of the Yngwie Malmsteen of novelists. In the like, what do you mean? More is more, and then also just like being wildly egotistical and self-indulgent and having
Yeah.
very little to say in actuality.
Yeah.
I get why it was like mind blowing in the 50s when nobody was writing like that. But then they figured out that writing like that is very easy to do. And also like probably like not that good. Because yeah, they just could have used an editor, you know, peer review.
Yeah.
Maybe could have saved that book. But I don't even know if it could though, because then they'd have to be like, hey, Jack Kerouac, find a different style. Because it's really like a fundamental flaw in the book. It's just the
You can't polish a turd.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or there's 1,000 ways you could polish a turd, and none of them would be good enough. It's just like that's what I get from it. It's just that like even if he had chosen choose Jesus fucking Christ, even if he had chosen like a, even if he was writing about ideas that I found compelling, the way he writes about them would kill me every time, and the experience of a Jack Kerouac novel or short story is the style of prose more than anything else going on. It's like a director whose whole thing is having really pretty shots, but all of his scripts are shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have any directors you like?
I like the Coen brothers.
I like the
I
Coen
think that
brothers,
ties into my like obsession with character writing. So they have such good like a guy will be in that movie for like 2 seconds and have a line of dialogue and you just think about him, like one line of dialogue, and you just think about him for the rest of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the Coen brothers. Um, let's see, I'm not that big of a movie nerd, you know. What else do I don't know. Are you into movies?
I'm into like the way they shoot them, like behind the scenes kind of shit.
Yeah.
I like practical effects. I love practical effects, but I also love like cinematography. Like
Yeah,
Wes
yeah.
Anderson and Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah.
two of my favorites
Yeah.
of all
No,
time.
I like Wes Anderson.
I love Wes Anderson so much.
I like pretty much everything I've seen by him.
My family is just like they're like, here you pick a movie, you pick a movie. Every time I pick a movie, it's historically one of their least favorite times they watch a movie. I'm just like, all right, they told me to pick a movie. We're watching The
Yeah.
Aquatic Life with Steve Zissou or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah. Well,
And they're
I
like,
like that movie because
like,
that I mean that has his best characters to me.
right.
Was that one and was the fucking Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of his not so character based stuff never did as much for me. Uh, Darjeeling Limited was really good because it's just characters. You know, it's just about those people.
Yeah.
The the ones that like didn't or just consistently movies that don't do it for me are movies where I find it hard to care about the characters.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be you have to like write a compelling figure. All of the environment and the cinematography needs to be an environment, not it has to be like tailored to your characters. What you want them to be, you have to adapt the environment of the film to make those characters be who you want to be. I love Guillermo del Toro for that reason.
Yeah.
Is like
the new Frankenstein movie. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Did he direct it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
Apparently, it's really good. I haven't seen it yet because I don't have Netflix here. Because Netflix is a bitch.
Netflix is a bitch for a lot of reasons, dude. Yeah. I'm not into all the serial killer documentaries.
Right? I feel like the work could do less with that.
True crime is it just baffles me.
Yeah.
But that's a really cold take. Like I feel like there's a lot of people who are like, I hate true crime, and then everybody else is like kind of into it. It's just a no middle ground there. But like I don't get it.
Some of the stuff I'm into, like I watched one documentary called "Don't with Cats," and that was one of the best.
Oh, I watched that one. That was cool
good.
though.
It was cool
because it also wasn't like a pop culture kind of.
It was like
thing,
something that not a lot of people knew about.
Yeah,
but also were a lot of people just like a community helping out.
Yeah,
I think that was really really cool.
Yeah, like doing a documentary about a huge news story is kind of like
it's just like all right, we heard about it once.
Yeah, and it's like everything I've heard about Jeffrey Dahmer lends me to believe that I like have no interest in watching the Dahmer documentary. Was that the documentary or was that like the show?
There was a show.
It was like it was a biopic about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Why do you need a biopic about Jeffrey Epstein?
But you know what I will say though?
Epstein, but Jeffrey Dahmer.
I don't know if you relate to this at all, but I can't get on to true crime people too much because I read a lot of history, and low-key history is kind of just true crime a lot of the time. Like you're reading about what fucking Roman guy assassinated whatever other guy. Yeah. It's like that's kind of true crime. So I mean, yeah, women are into true crime, men are into war. That's the difference. You know what I mean? But it's really the exact same thing. So I can't talk too much shit, But I also don't find like serial killers to be particularly compelling figures. I think it doesn't do for me maybe what it does for some people. I
Yeah, no.
I can't bring myself to like what we were talking about where like people if you write a shitty character but like do a really complex character portrait to a degree that does work only in fiction. Because if it's like a real guy where you're like look at the like thoughts and feelings of John Wayne Gacy, I'm
Yeah.
like I don't
Just like
give a
I
about the
could care
thoughts.
less. Look what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then when I'm like reading about like so and so in history, I mean, certain it's like beefed up by historians and stuff. They do seem like more compelling figures because oftentimes the reason they died is not purely just like committed crime died or was victim of guy who committed crime. It's usually like
There's
some
lore
deeper
to it,
stuff
yeah.
to those. Yeah. It's also like funnier.
It is.
History is really funny, which
Really?
I mean I think so.
Yeah.
There's like goofy fucking people that
There
existed at
is.
one
Oh,
point.
there,
You know, one of my favorite stories is, uh, do you know about Stonewall Jackson? How he died?
no.
Uh, it's really like, yeah, I think like being into the Civil War is like an early sign of republicanism. I'm not going down that route, but it is, ignore the red flag for a second. Stonewall Jackson died in a fucking hysterical way. It's
Alright.
so funny to me. Is that he was like a doofus. He was like an idiot, right? People he was like a good general or whatever. I don't really care about that part. The funny thing about him, he got the name Stonewall Jackson because he just like stand still on a battlefield while they were like while people were shooting, and people would be like, "Well, he's just standing there like a stone wall," which is such a dumb way to get that nickname. But I mean, not that there would be any other reason to have the nickname Stonewall. But the way he died was he like a doofus, which he was. He rode his horse out into like Union territory, and he was coming back at night, and like a guard who was just doing the job of a guard saw a guy riding into their camp from Union side and just shot him and shot his own guy. And that's how Stonewall Jackson died. And then immediately after that, the Confederates lost the war. So like the way I like to think about it that like kind of makes me laugh is like imagine being the dude who shot Stonewall
He
Jackson.
was just like,
Because they let him live. They didn't execute him. They were just like, you just have to deal with that. So like you're just out in Virginia staring out at, wheat fields your whole life. And you go to war, shoot the general and lose. It's such a fucking waste of an existence, dude. It just kind of makes me laugh.
that is funny.
It's like the dude who shot Stonewall Jackson is almost as silly of a character in my mind as Stonewall Jackson.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were also both Confederates and like pieces of shit, but like that story in a vacuum is very funny. You know what I mean? Also, doesn't make me feel as bad about him getting,
Yeah,
shot by his
exactly.
own guy.
I feel like just like standing out there in the darkness at night, and just like, is that someone out there? Fuck it, I guess.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's
And
like
then they go
he
over to
was
see the
doing
body, and he's just like,
his job description exactly, and Stonewall Jackson was just enough of an idiot to think that it wouldn't apply to him because this is the guy who stands on, in the direct trajectory of like
just like,
bullets and shit. He was just like, "I'll be fine," because that's like his. It's like, no, dude, you're fighting in a war.
that we ball.
Yeah, exactly. What's the um? I saw this tweet that was like, there's the phrase "F it, we ball" in tandem with the old paradigm, which is paradigm is a hilarious way to put it. It's like with the old paradigm, ball is life. If you combine these two, the secret is really "F it, we live." It's like, damn, that's kind of profound, but also at the same time, like, I don't think I've had enough, alcohol for it to be that profound. But I thought it was like, man, it's clever. F it, we live. T-shirt
Yeah.
or a tombstone. Yeah. Yeah. But are you into? Do you read a lot?
I try to. I just get busy with my music, and then
Yeah,
I get
that's
distracted.
fair.
When I go to bed, I try to read before bed, and I just
It's a
either
good thing
fall
to do.
asleep or I get bored because I'm like I've been doing all
Well,
day.
that's why it's great. I mean, reading before
Oh
bed
yeah,
is like that's like the great way to like you turn off your brain, but you don't feel like you're like not in like a rotting way of
mm-hmm.
just like ignoring everything and like scrolling on reels, but you are like slowing down. I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to get tired
No,
reading
yeah,
before bed at all. I think that's the mission. You know, I mean, it depends on what you read. You know, I wouldn't read some horror novel before bed.
see, horror novels don't scare me. Like
All of the most horrific shit I've read in a book has not been in a horror novel. I
really,
feel like it's like other genres of book. Yeah, I mean, I feel like goofy as hell saying it because it's such a cliche for like a particular kind of person that I don't want to be associated with. But like Cormac McCarthy he's got some pretty devastating stuff in some of his books. Um, yeah, and I mean I'm not gonna be the dude who sits here and is like Blood Meridian is the best thing ever because it's not. I'd be lying if I were doing that. I don't feel that way. But it is as like disturbing as everybody says it is. You know, I don't think it's like I think it's not making that disagreeable of a statement, right? Like people treat that book like it's very profound, but I mean, it's just kind of a anti-war, like look at how awful humanity is, kind of thing. At the end of the day, it's like a lot of media is oriented towards that. But I forget who said it, and I wish I could remember his name. But there was some director who said that no movie can ever truly be anti-war. And that's all I think about when I read that book is like as much as it wants to be like look at how horrific this shit is, isn't it horrific? There's a element silently of glorifying it, you know,
yeah,
which part of me wants to be like no you, of course there can be anti-war art, but the thing it takes to make something anti-war is not done very often because when you have a protagonist you want it to be somebody you're rooting for. So often that can't allow things to be anti-war because in a kind of a scenario where your story takes place like during a war or like in a battlefield or something, the need to root for a protagonist leads them to kind of suggest that what the protagonist is doing, even if it's horrific and like causes PTSD or whatever, they're sort of implicitly saying that it's like an honorable thing to do. And the real thing that would be anti war is to just kind of deconstruct the old lie and be like, going to war is not honorable. You're not defending anybody, you're just attacking them. But that's just so hard to do when you have a story that relies on needing a protagonist, you know? It doesn't really work together. And that's always in the front of my mind whenever I read books like that. It's like you want it to be anti-war, you have to figure out a way to like get people to almost like read a book where you aren't rooting for the characters, where you're not charmed by them
yeah,
or excited for them. You almost have to write a war novel or war movie that's where you almost feel like the character doesn't deserve to come back alive, or else you failed at making something that's anti-war.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So, or you're almost like disappointed in them at the end of the movie. That's the real thing that makes. If if they come back, they cannot have achieved any glory. And it can't even be the kind of glory where it's like, you know, I'm suffering, but at least I did the right thing. It has to be, you did the wrong thing, and like you're kind of a loser now. Like that's the anti-war thing, but that's so distasteful. It kind of doesn't work either,
Yeah.
because it's like you don't want to, because war is such an advantageous thing where it's like you send a guy out, he thinks he's doing the right thing, realizes halfway there that he's wrong, and then he comes back and he's like celebrated like a hero, but he's battling his demons. It's like that is nice, and like obviously this guy got fucking duped into fighting this war, so you like want to be sympathetic towards him. But if you're sympathetic towards him, it's not an anti-war movie, because then you look at what he did as being a part of this greater story that's like an imperative part of this character that you care about, so you care about the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way that's just, it's distorted from where it could be. It's such a hard thing to do. It's almost as if you were gonna do it, you would have to commit to turning people off and doing the distasteful thing of like kind of like dogging on veterans a little bit, which like I wouldn't want to do that.
No. Yeah.
Because like I mean, I, as much as I am against like the American military like industrial complex, I'm very pro veteran. I'm against the military and pro veteran, because the every generation of veterans has been fucked by the American government. You know, it's like I don't think we need to be going to war in a bunch of places that we've gone to war in. So it's like, you know, I'm against that, what the soldiers are fighting for, but I'm pro the soldiers because a lot of them didn't have other options, or like got fooled into thinking that's like the thing you do to make the world a better place.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not doing that. But you have to feel for them, but like completely dismiss the thing that they're doing at the same time, which is such a complex. You know what I mean? You feel for them because they think they're doing something right, not because they're doing something wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing. There's a lot of veterans in my family who I like. I mean, they're just, you know, honest people like anybody else. But like, whatever damage that's been done to them is not, it's not worth it. So it's like hard to make a piece of media that depicts war as being full of great people and also still make it look like a bad thing. There's no hero in real life. I think that's the thing that you can't capture in a narrative that's based around a protagonist and an antagonist like that. Sorry, that was such a long-winded ramble, dude. I went on a fucking tear
Oh,
there.
you're good, dude.
Do you know? How do you feel about that? I don't know. What do you think of it?
I think it stands up as accurate.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, you know.
Because I don't want to promote war, but I don't want to put people
Dismiss
down.
people who have experienced
it because it's a hard thing to do for both parties. I mean, no matter what, everybody loses.
Yeah, yeah. And you hear people who like come home from stuff and they're like, I did that for no reason. It's like it's hard to show that it was purposeless without, I mean, you know, like you want to give your characters purpose, but you have to somewhere along the line be able to say, but every like their that purpose is like a bad one. Not their purpose is a bad one, but they've clearly been eluded from what their purpose is because they're fighting in a war. Like that's nobody's purpose. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's an interesting subject.
Very philosophical.
Yeah, because I'm also like thinking like it's almost like it crosses the boundary into being a horror movie. Like, this is bad, but you wanna see it turn out all right, you know. But the point is that it's bad. But you wanting to see it turn out all right, it's dishonest if they give you that satisfaction. Well, anyway. Well, I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. It's cool though.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me talk at you for
You're
an
good,
hour.
dude.
Yeah.
So that's what you're on here to do.
Huh?
That's what you're on here to do.
What'd you say?
That's what you're on here to do.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Well, tell me about this synth.
So I bought it thinking that it would, it would sound good, and it does. I love it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: monophonic.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm. Which
Strange.
kicked my ass at first. I was like, "What the? Why doesn't it do that?"
Oh yeah.
So,
see, I was looking at this like it was a stereo out, but
yeah, one is like instrument in, which I don't know how the you use that instrument in jack. I get like a modular rack input,
yeah.
but
you've got your Euro rack thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the instrument in does. That's got to be like a
I've run guitar
like
through
a
it before,
sound
yeah.
generator thing. Like
Yeah.
you just play a note and then like assign it to something. You know what I mean? That's probably what that is. Probably low key. Like, can this thing do like sample based stuff at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, well then I wouldn't know what the instrument in is because I'd think it'd be for like.
Yeah, exactly.
You run some drums through here and then touch some knobs or something.
Yeah, it's monophonic. I thought it was stereophonic, or not polyphonic. And
stereophonic would be funny though.
Stereophonic.
It's not monophonic because you get two notes.
Exactly.
Only the first and the third. That's all it's good for.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, that's cool though.
But it's nice. It's nice to have. I use it as a MIDI keyboard most of the time though.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. I've not heard of this particular mode, the grandmother. I'm not too up on synthesizers though. I should probably learn more.
I like the Roland ones a lot more. If I was gonna get any synth, Roland 60 or Juno 60.
Juno, yeah.
I love Junos.
Yeah, I've got a Juno like plug-in.
I got a Juno plug-in too from Roland.
Have you looked at Reverb or Sweetwater's software section?
No, not really.
Dude, there's like so many good free plugins and VSTs that are on Reverb and Sweetwater that like I didn't even know they had a software section. I mean, there's a lot of like people who you can like buy your plugins through Sweetwater or whatever.
Yeah.
Some of them are for sale, but they also just have like, free plugins and VSTs, like bundles of them and stuff. There was one that was like it was like the classic electronic thing, and it just came with like a VST of like a Roland Juno, and then the two TR drum machines, the 808 and the 909. VST versions of those, and it was free. I don't know if it's still free, but it's probably not expensive. I mean, it's Junos are so popular. It's like it's more of a thing to like you wouldn't pay anything for the VST, but it's the heart, the thing, the real sound. That's where the money is at. Because that's the experience. It's not just the sound. It's like there is something to be said for like twisting a knob versus like just like dragging your mouse around.
It's a lot easier to just
or at least it feels like you're like doing more. It feels like more of a decision, especially on this stuff where there's no like Control Z. You know what I mean? You just
That's
have
why
to
it's
if you liked the sound you were at, you have to like take a photo of
exactly. That's why it's so difficult with those. Is like I like plugins for that reason. Is that you can save your sounds, but I also like analog hardware
Yes.
because
Yeah.
I mean you can't go wrong with analog hardware.
Yeah, no, of course not. It's
I mean too much of it obviously can be wonky, but
yeah, and if some part fails and you have to replace it, like that sucks. But I mean, just in terms of like sitting down and making something, I agree that just having real physical knobs to like turn is that's a there's some abstract thing that it adds a whole nother layer. It's funny though how many monophonic things that Moog makes,
I
because
think
it's
most of their is monophonic.
I know the mini Moogs are all
Yeah,
those are all. I mean, that's just like the bass synth. I feel like so it's like you even just have your two octaves,
exactly.
So it's like
That's what I have here. I think 2 octaves.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
But that's
good
what
to
I was
be
saying. I
fair.
hadn't heard of it. Is it similar to the mini Moogs?
I think
It's
so.
bigger.
It is bigger. It's I don't know. You can switch octaves on it, so that's a plus.
Yeah.
Um,
There's an arpeggiator on it
there
too.
is
So that's kind of like almost a polyphonic thing, but it's
kind of
just
yeah. I wish it had a better sequencer. That's what I would want.
oh, there's a sequencer in it. Well, I don't think the
kind of
mini Moog has a sequencer, so
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's wait, kind of
yeah.
in like what
It's
in
like
what way kind of
well, it's not like you set different parameters and then you can speed up or slow it. I guess you could speed it up or slow it down, but it's like each one of the things you have to pluck out and then you can. I don't know. I guess it is a sequencer, but I wish it had a more
tactile sequencer. Yeah,
tactile and less convoluted because it's just
yeah,
such a simple
right. Because I'm
sequencer.
looking. There's no like just buttons for
Yeah,
like choose your subdivision. Then yeah, no,
yeah.
that does seem very
It's just a knob too for how fast you want it to go. Like I can't set a BPM. That pisses me off.
that's yeah,
Like when I'm trying to sync it to my computer, to my I'm working on,
yeah.
pisses me the
Because if it's
off.
off just a little bit, then like by the end of the song, that always sucks for like the things where it's not really a specific BPM, because it's like the first 16 bars can sound on beat, and then like 4 minutes into the song, you're like, oh, the snare's like off by like way too far or something, like now we're like too slow, now we're off tempo. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's just off enough to where it sounds normal for the first half, and then the back half of the song is totally wrong.
I have that happen a lot on my DAW. It used to do this weird thing where I'd click to loop it, and
What do you use?
Logic.
Okay, Sam. Yeah,
I love Logic. I Pro Tools
oh yeah, you
is
loop it, but it's like
you
just a
loop it
little bit
just a
past
little
the
bit past the
bar.
thing, and it was
Yeah,
just
I
like,
know
what the
exactly.
is going on?
Yeah, do you use any of the like time stretch or like beat detective type stuff? That's not what it is in Logic.
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of the time when I'm sampling stuff, I do that, but
Yeah, that's kind of my main sampling method too. It's just like I mean, I feel like most of the time I'm sampling, it's probably a drum break.
yeah,
It's like I don't do a lot of the like. I mean, I used to do it a lot, but not so much anymore. That just like straight up like yeah, like soul chops or whatever. Or just
yeah.
like find a loop. Like most of the
I
time,
love
it's like
those.
one part of the song is very heavily sample based, and the rest is like actually played. But I do appreciate that like style of beat making.
Yeah,
Because also a lot of the people who do super heavy sampling are low key like playing on those songs. Like the finger drumming stuff, you might as well just be playing.
yeah. It's
Or like I don't know if you ever listen to like Knowledge or like
a little
Daedalus or
bit, yeah.
anybody. Yeah, they're basically playing. They're just
Exactly. Yeah.
playing snippets of samples rather than in like a acoustic guitar or whatever.
It kind of makes me think of Beck. He uses samples, but then he
yeah,
plays a bunch of stuff.
yeah. No, he's kind of one of the. I feel like he's like an early adopter of that. At least in the mainstream, he's an early adopter of that kind of thing.
I love Beck,
especially like in terms of sampling outside of the hip hop world. Like he did a lot for
that kind of slacker rock area.
Yeah, and then also just like in terms of like sampling being used in other genres, because I mean for a long time it was just a kind of a hip hop thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I appreciate kind of like pushing it into other styles.
Mhm.
There's a lot of like metal bands now that are like heavy on sampling. And it's never like, it's always just like a band performance, and then they'll have like a sample that like plays at the beginning of like somebody talking or something. But it's like, I wonder if that like idea would have existed if somebody had to have bridged. I mean, I hate to like put it like this. Is like one of my least favorite. It's like when music professors like they talk about how like they're like, oh, jazz, it's like just like classical music, and it's like, well, if you have to compare it to classical music in order to feel like it's a legitimate art form, then like it's also fine to say you don't like jazz. You know what I mean? Like if you need that level of like, if you need to reach that far to like find validity in the music,
compare it to something that you understand.
Yeah, if it can't exist on its own terms for you, then you probably just don't like it. So like, it does feel kind of like that being like super congratulatory to the guy who like, oh, he used samples in rock music, because it like feels kind of like dismissive of like hip hop or like electronic kind of like using samples earlier than that. But I just think it's cool that somebody came along and was kind of like, well, this works in other styles of music too, you know?
Yeah.
It's not just, Jay Dilla and Massive Attack that can use it. It's everybody else.
Jay Dilla.
I love Jay Dilla. Yeah. Yeah. What time is it? Let's see. 7:49. I probably got to get out of here.
All right. Sounds
pretty soon.
All right.
I mean, yeah, not immediately. You know, we can wrap up. I don't mean to.
No, you're good.
Kind of kick us off the airwaves.
You have anything else?
No. I don't think so.
I don't have anything else.
Okay, I feel you.
You gonna wrap up and get pizza, bro?
Hell yeah! I probably gotta head out in the next couple minutes, but yeah, I mean, I'll stick around for a second.
All right, man.
Stop rolling.
All right.
Hell yeah, dude!
I gotta grab a Polaroid picture of us.